Me joining, John?
Well,
Susan?
she's sitting here.
Oh.
She's listening.
Good. Okay.
Hi, Holly.
So, because she had already got a question about people paying dues and all that kind of stuff entering, and I said yes. And she's right here. She goes through all that.
All right.
Does Ken and Tammy have a list of who is paid and who is not paid?
Good.
And all that. Anyway, Peter, since you've been talking to Javi, why don't you introduce him, please?
Well, Javi's from Digital Pro Lab. Is that the whole thing?
Digital Pro Lab,
Digital
yes,
Pro
sir.
Labs.
Yeah, they've been a big supporter of the Dominion photo essay for years and years. They give away prints and things, and he reached out to me to see if there was some way that he could make a connection with our club, and hopefully we came up with a few interesting ideas. And I asked him to join, and he's welcome to hang around for the whole thing, or just give us a little idea of what we have in mind. And let's see. Go ahead. Go ahead, Javi.
Yeah, no, well, like I said, thank you, everybody. Peter, thank you for having me here. And yeah, like Peter said, I'm with Digital Pro Lab. I basically, at my role at Digital Pro Lab, I work with all of our photographers who are either new to the lab or are kind of getting online with printing, whether it be, they sell prints, whether it be, they're doing family sessions, weddings, anything like that, anything that someone's trying to get connected with our lab for the first time. I kind of help get them set up. Another really big part of my job is not only to, obviously get them set up with all of the systems and, making sure they're familiar with how to submit orders, but it's also working with them to figure out how we can integrate printing into their business model. And so, like I said, I work with everybody from portrait photographers, wedding, all the way to people who aren't even photographers. They're just artists who need reproductions and whatnot. And so, that's kind of my role over there. Our motto for 2021, if we had to write one down, would kind of be just to uplift and support the photography community right now. Peter and I got a chance to talk briefly on the phone, and one of the things that I mentioned to him was, I think we saw, I'm not sure what kind of photography everybody here does, but I'm sure in some way or another, if you make any kind of money off of photography, 2020 had some sort of an impact to you. And so we were fortunate enough to be able to brave the storm. A lot of that, a lot of labs, weren't so lucky, unfortunately. And so we just feel very fortunate that we were able to do that. But this year, we really want to help everyone bolster their business, bolster what they do with printing, and even just beyond printing, even if it's just being a resource. Whether we're doing a lot with different clubs and different societies, and bringing in different classes just to be a resource to everybody. So even if you're already a seasoned vet at printing, even if printing is not something you do, we really want to be a tool for everybody to use, and kind of just be, a safe place for everyone to go to if they're needing any kind of guidance or any kind of help in their photography. And so, yeah, like I said, thank y'all so much. Peter and I had talked, and I think we're going to work out, hopefully being able to host some of the meetings eventually at the lab. And so I think, I'm really excited to hopefully be able to have y'all and host you guys over at the lab. And so, but yeah, like I said, thank y'all so much for having me, and I look forward to getting to know what this club's about. One last thing before I kind of end this little spiel. I didn't come empty-handed today. I do have a promo code for you guys if you guys want to take advantage of it. I'll put it in the chat as well, but we're going to be giving everybody on this chat a free 11x14 print on luster paper. The code for that is going to be, the acronym, so GSACC, all lowercase. That's active right now, and it's going to expire Wednesday of next week at midnight. And so you'll just enter that promo code in at checkout, and like I said, that's going to be a 100% free gift to you guys from us. So again, thank y'all so much for having me.
Nice, thank you. I've got one quick question about. We talked about maybe meeting 6 times a year at your place for when we have print competitions. What's the room like over there?
Yeah, no, so yeah, exactly. And I was gonna say, Peter, if you want to come by sometime to the lab, take a look at it, so that way we can kind of mock up some ideas on where, because I know being able to project or something, that the photos that we're judging is going to be very important. So we've got a pretty good open space in the middle. There's like a couple little islands that kind of do exist in the lobby, but once we move out the kind of the furniture or anything that's in there, like I said, we can pretty comfortably hold, anywhere from 20 to 25 people pretty easily. We definitely got space, a wall that we can, if we need to, set up a projector. I think we had talked about, hosting the print competition, so maybe we won't need the projector, but we'll definitely have room, to kind of put things on the wall and really let all the judges, go up and really give a good inspection of the prints. But yeah, we, back whenever pre-COVID times, we at one point turned the lobby into a like a little mini gallery of sorts for Photo Septiembre. That was before I was with the lab, but yeah, no, we do quite a few, but before I was there, pre-COVID, we do quite a few cool little things at the lab. So
Sounds great.
Excited.
Good. I look forward to coming by.
Yeah, no,
Jim actually holds some of his meetings, well, not meetings, I guess, little get-togethers there.
Mhm.
Okay. And,
Jim Landry?
yeah, like little Friday night, first Friday things. He goes in and they have a display. They talk about different stuff. So, and I've been to the Photo September a couple times. So, though I don't get my prints done at Digital Pro Labs anymore, but because I go to Finer Works. But no, it's plenty of room for what we have anyway.
Great.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be a good time. And so, like I said, I'm very excited to have y'all out there. And like I said, if y'all have any questions, I'll also put my email address in the chat, so that way you guys can reach out to me if y'all have any questions or just want to know about our services and whatnot.
Yeah, because
I wonder if because what would we have to do with our equipment? Our print display stand. If we ever do like digital or in there, maybe, for instance, what are we gonna do with the TV? We're gonna have to carry that every time we go.
Well, no, he said they've got a projector for if we're doing a digital type of thing.
Yeah, we've
Yeah,
got
I
a
know.
projector.
Yeah,
So
we have a
But-
projector
but
too. So
But the print would be a little bit different since we have a stand we actually use for the print competitions, Javi. So that's
Okay.
just a little
Yeah.
bit different.
it has lights on it. It has a suction device to hold the prints up against the mount. But maybe there's another way we can do it.
Yeah, like I said,
Stuff.
here we can have you come out and we can kind of
Yeah.
do some pre-planning and make sure that it all goes goes smoothly.
Maybe a couple of us can come out and take a look
Yeah,
at it and
no,
see
no,
what we can
absolutely.
work out.
yeah, we can do that.
We'll set that up with you.
Okay.
I'm out of school next week, so once I get out of school, the kids are going back to school on 1st of April, first week of April. So
Real school. Huh?
I'm free during the week now.
Well, Javi, thank you very much for the information. Really
Yeah, no,
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you.
Thanks, Javi. Yeah,
Thanks,
Thanks
sir.
for being here, Javi. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
definitely.
Yep, thank you.
All right. Good job. Okay. I guess we'll have to go on, and Ken, I guess you're up, dude.
Okay, as I said, Tammy's not here, or I told John. So I've got everything kind of set. We'll see how it works when I flip from one screen to another. I've got a second monitor. If it doesn't work out right, we'll figure something out after that. I can use my phone for knowing what's what. So away we go. And first up. Okay, come on. Let's not start off already. You can do it. There we go. This is Iron Horses.
So, okay, there's three of us. So who wants to start?
I'll go.
Okay.
All right. Digging the composition, first of all. What do you call it? The front, everything's in focus and it just falls off as it goes to the back. And like I said, I love the composition because it seems to be coming out of the photo, out of the two-dimensional look. It looks like it's coming out. Love the detail with the background. You've got complementary colors that just are, it's like eye candy, basically. Maker, please.
Dick Boone, score of 18. Sunflower,
Hey, Dick, how'd you get the birds to fly by at the moment you snapped the shot?
Probably can't hear us.
Well, anyway, that's a little added bonus there.
Okay, I guess I'll go next. Well, I mean, who doesn't love a shot like this? I mean, the lighting on it is just impeccable. The composition is great. You know, it has so much texture. It just seems to just jump off the page. It's colorful where it should be colorful. I have absolutely no negative comments about it whatsoever. It's a fabulous image. Who's the maker?
Eric Bowden, he got third place with a score of 21.
And everybody was there when this picture was taken. That was one of the pictures during the session that I did.
I thought I recognized that one.
Yeah, I actually knew who it was, but I was just pretending.
We all
I didn't.
kind of did.
But yeah, everybody kind of knew. So just playing along.
Coastal Sunrise.
All right,
Yeah.
this is a pretty cool picture here. I mean, overall, it's got a pretty good wow factor with that beautiful sunset, and you've got a nice foreground, and of course the birds are a bonus there. So it's quite well done. Then you've got the big ship in the background there too. I just noticed that. Wow. Okay, so this is nicely done, and I scored it quite high. So who's the maker here?
John Kane, score of 19.
Good shot, John. Great sky.
Katie did.
She did.
Very interesting. It's almost like, you've got different shades of green here, including the background. You see where the focus is at because everything eventually just falls off. I love the detail on the flower. With I don't know the technical names for the little the stems that have the little hair-like substance on it. I would have liked to have the antennae in focus, but it's a beautiful capture. Maker.
Patrick Murphy, second place with a score of 22. I don't think Patrick's here.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is
I
this-
apologize. My camera's off, but I have an unstable internet connection. So if I turn my camera on, it's gonna kick me out.
All right.
Bummer.
But yeah, thank you. That was yeah. I would have liked to have those both of those antennas in focus, but with those macro lenses, it's just you don't have a lot to work with.
It's quite gorgeous on its own.
Thank you.
Pecos River Bridge in fog.
Jack, you have to take this one.
Yeah, I knew I did. So I'm glad to take it because it's wonderful. I love the panoramic view that we have here, and it's interesting. I guess that's haze or fog way off in the distance there, but boy, that bridge really shines, and so does the foreground, and you got the river with a little bit of a curve leading you back there as well. Very nicely done, and I know I scored this one high too, and I'm pretty sure I know who the maker is.
Peter Forsack is honorable mention. The original score was a 20, then it rescored at a 23.
Peter, was that multiple shots stitched together or?
Yeah, it was. I have a Sony camera and I just used the stitching from the camera to take multiple. I did it vertical so that I'd get more into.
Oh, wow. Okay, gotcha.
Really, really nice.
How many exposures was that, Peter?
You know, I don't know. It does them all together, but it's probably like maybe 10.
Okay.
Sprinklers.
Well, this one just kind of pops off the screen. You know, I'm glad that it's in black and white. I think the color might have even been a little distracting if it was. I love that all the equipment and everything is darker and, you know, just really highlighted against the screen very nicely. The composition is great. Looking back, the leading lines going to the back. The sky has some interest in it. So I just think it's well composed image. Who's the maker?
Trish Stone. It scored a 20 and then rescored a 21. White Sands.
All right. I think it's my turn, right?
Yes.
Yes, Robert.
That'll work.
This reminds me of White Sands. It may not be White Sands, but I don't know. But it's almost a minimalistic shot. You know, you've got the different shades with the in the sand. You got the ripples in the sand that you could see, and just the fact that it's got the human element on the lower, the lower quadrant. You know, that to me that is the interest. Would have loved to see more clouds with a blue sky, but other than that, it was handled great. Only criticism I would have, perhaps taking off some of that negative space on top of the, you know, meaning the sky. Maker?
Tim Kirkland with a score of 18. Finally.
Well, I'm guessing it means finally you're out of whatever it is, high school or something. It's a very nice, memorable image. It's it without having the person in it, with just having the hat and the little emblem over there. You get to make up your own story for the image. I might have cropped in just a little more into the image, maybe did a vertical or something. You probably need the knee in there just to show where it is, but I might have put it a little off center, but that's the only comment that I have on it. Who's the maker?
Tammy Kofi Ramsey. She has a score of 19.
It looks like it's only focused right in the middle there. I wonder if that was a like a lens baby or a tilt shift lens.
Might have been.
No, it wasn't. I know what I don't know what she shot it with exactly, but we don't have anything like that.
It just looks like almost everything's out of focus except for the 2021 and then some of the surroundings.
Now, she may have done something
In
post,
Post, yeah.
and that would not surprise me, and I can't tell you that.
Okay,
All right.
understand.
It kind of looks like it has an out of focus vignette.
Yeah,
Yeah, well.
that's what I was just going to say, dude. It was a vignette.
Don't mess with us mature folks.
Who's that?
Okay, Peter, you'll have to talk about that
Oh,
one.
I'll take this one. I mean, this one just has so much impact, you know, that the face just tells it all, and it's just captured wonderfully, you know, the detail on the whiskers and the nose, and, you know, it's sharp where it should be sharp, and the background has that wonderful bokeh, and the pose is just really memorable on it. It's a terrific capture, and we know who the maker is. So what's his score?
Jack Smith, of course, he scored first place with a 23.
And well deserved.
Very nice.
Absolutely.
Jack.
Well done, Jack.
Okay,
Good job, Jack.
Thank
Jack,
you.
I
He's
just
got
gotta say-
attitude, right? Don't you see the attitude there in that face?
Oh yeah, you do.
I'm telling you, Jack, you know, I used to do a lot more street photography, right? Over here on the west side. And I've gotten this look from some of the homies I've seen around.
You're right.
Yeah, it's like, what are you looking at? You know, great shot.
Does need to have some of the nose hair trim though, I think.
We'll let you try that one, John.
It really adds to it.
As it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Button. Monochrome. Old Rugged Cross.
Who's up?
Jack, I think go ahead and start.
Okay. Well, the diagonal of the shot is really makes it interesting, and especially with the other two in the background. And I like the variation. You've got the dark trees in the background, and you've got the lighter colored grass in the front. It's well composed. Maybe it's not absolutely perfect because I don't know, maybe the foreground cross itself could be, I don't know, a little darker, a little more contrast, a little something to make it pop just a little more. But otherwise, it's a great shot. Who's the maker?
Tim Kirkland, score of 18.
Then you go, Robert.
All right.
Vera Daisy.
This is a tremendous image. It's handled very well. I love the composition, and I love the fact, I mean, this could easily be lost in black and white, meaning being too busy, especially with the background. But it just pops with the lighter petals. The detail is amazing. Very well done. Who's the maker?
Trish Stone. It's third place with a score of 22. There was an in and out, and this one was the out.
I'm telling you, Trish is coming on into her own, man. It's getting better and better.
Well, I'm glad I got this one.
Okay, stained glass.
Yeah, I love this image, you know. It was probably straightened. I like that effect that it's, perfectly level, that there's the great detail in the stained glass and all those little highlights along the benches just add so much interest to it. It's extremely well handled. It took a lot of creativity to turn this into black and white. I'm sure it was very, very colorful. Who's the maker?
Eric Bowden, second place, the score of 22, and it was the in.
Oh, way to go, John. Eric.
Eric.
Nice job. Love it.
Very nice, Eric.
Where is that, Eric?
Yes.
Love it.
that's St. Mark's. No, yes, it was St. Mark's. There was the deacon ordination that was going to be taking place, and I was there early, and the sun was just in the right place.
Yeah.
That's here in San Antonio.
Yes,
Wow, that's beautiful.
I think
Is
it
that
was
downtown?
No, it's actually, you know what? I need to look back up what church that was because it may not have been St. Mark's. I'll find out and I'll let y'all know.
Anyway,
Very nice.
great shot.
Thank you very much.
Spoons in a glass.
Okay, this is quite well done, and it's very, very interesting and very detailed, very sharp, creative with the background, good contrast, well composed, great lighting, very nice shot. I'm sure it scored quite nicely. I think I know who it is, but let's find out anyway.
Dick Boone with a score of 21, and it rescored with 21.
Wow, way to go, Dick.
Yeah.
Nice job, Dick. Very
Yeah,
nice.
one, Dick. Very original. Unique.
A Too Quiet Corner.
Robert, you have to take this.
All right. Some of my favorite areas to shoot are like old homes or decayed homes. This is quite nice. Love the lines with the beams, the 2x4s, the rotted 2x4s, and the fact that you can see the trees on the outside, you got the light coming in. It's handled very well, black and white, including the window. You know, you can see right through it. No highlights are blown. You've got great tonal range here. Big fan of this one. Who's the maker?
Peter Forzak.
Yep,
It scored first place with a score of 23.
nicely done. All handled.
Nice job, Peter.
Thank you.
Very nice, Peter.
Thank you.
Yes.
Love the texture, walls.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Oh, should I take this one or?
Yeah.
Now that's it. Cliff House.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a really interesting composition, you know, with the rock face behind it with all the texture and then the texture in that little building and the texture in the bush in the foreground. I wish that the bush was like a little darker down on the bottom. My eye keeps get drawn to the bush, which to me is the least interesting part of the composition. That's really my only negative comment. Other than that, I think it's a wonderful composition and it shows really well in black and white. Who's the maker?
Patrick Murphy with a score of 18.
Yeah, this was at, this is in northeastern New Mexico, I think.
Oh.
Canyon de Chelly, I think that's the, I'm probably not pronouncing it right. Shelley, de Chelly.
Yeah, is it to Shelley?
Yeah, I remember something like that. Yeah.
Patrick, I love how the scale of this feels very ambiguous. I love how it's kind of, at least to my eye, this could be stories tall. This could be, 10 feet tall. I don't know. I like how it really makes you think.
But yeah, that's a good point about about that tree. I'd probably go back in and try and darken that a little bit.
Yeah,
And put
just a
some
little
focus back
darker
on the
vignette
house.
from the bottom, I think would really improve this.
Okay, good.
Lightning Strike.
Okay, I'm lost in the order, guys.
Me too.
Is it my turn?
I think so.
Okay. Wow, it's always cool to catch lightning and look at the different layers there. Look at the clouds, the sun rays coming through. They happen to get lucky, I guess, with the sun rays just right and the lightning just over here. It's a very nice, nicely done monochrome. Great. Who's the maker?
John Kane with a score of 20.
Good job, John.
This kind of reminds me of film.
Yeah, I treated it as film.
Okay.
Actually, the lightning strike was added.
Oh, was it really?
But because the sky was so dark, this is right as we came into Big Bend several years ago, and the sun rays are there, and I just needed something, so I added a lightning strike to make it more interesting.
Yeah. I think it would have been great without the lightning strike, though, John. That's a really great photograph.
Yeah.
Just in itself, the ridges and the sky and the light, the sunlight coming down.
Well, the color image was blue
Really?
because it was pouring down rain.
Very well.
Well, good shot in the rain there, John.
Paul Ann.
All right. I think it's my turn.
Yep.
All right. Pauline, what can you say? You gotta love the shot. You're almost at eye level. I like that. It's not like you're not way above the dog. So many people choose not to go to eye level when they shoot their pets, and I think it just makes for a greater interest view. Handled very well. I have no complaints. You've got the detail where it belongs, from the muzzle all the way to the back, and then it just falls off. Maker?
Tammy Cothy Ramsey with a score of 19.
Is that a heart around them?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I
We
wasn't
were at
sure.
a Tom Slick Park Valentine's Day model session that was put on by some group. I don't know who. And that was one of the dogs that was there. And somebody brought a heart.
Very cool. Nice.
Bald eagle headshot.
Well, exactly. Who doesn't love this one? This one just, just almost makes you back away from the screen. He's so intimidating. It's handled really well. It has great tonal range, great detail. The most important part is that eye and the beak, and those things are just tack sharp. There's detail in all the highlights and in his hair. It's cropped really nicely. It's a wonderful image. Who's the maker?
Jack Smith. It was an honorable mention. It scored 21 and then rescored at 26.
Wow, 26.
That's a big range, right?
It's a great shot, Jack.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks. I miss those animals.
Mhm.
Yes, sir. Soon, Jack, soon.
Yep.
Nature. Hang on one second. Get over here to this side because I figured out I can scroll and not have to click, which keeps the active window. Tall ball cypress.
Is that my turn?
Yeah, Jack.
Okay. Well, I'd like to know, are they really lying down on the ground, or that's just one big tree and they happen to get up close to it? My brother, every time I go visit him, he always wants me to lie down on the ground. He thinks that's pretty cool.
You just want to see if you can get up, Jack.
Yeah, that's the trick, getting up after that. Well, it's an interesting perspective. The bark is pretty crisp and sharp, and even the leaves are as well. And the vertical, of course, is the right way to go there, and composition is good. Lighting must have been pretty good, or at least the exposure was done well. So who's the maker of this one?
Tammy Cothy Ramsey with a score of 17. And I'm betting she just put the camera on the ground.
Okay.
I don't think she laid flat. Could be wrong, but betting money says she just put the camera on the ground.
Well, that's another way to do it.
Desert Sing.
Mine?
Yeah.
All right. I'm digging this shot for many reasons. Typically, you get people that saturate the photo. This isn't, not in my point of view, but I just love the combination of the terrain compared to the sky. Now, I don't know if that sky was added, but if it wasn't, you were like at the right place at the right time. It's very well handled. I love that there's a foreground, a midground, and a background. Only thing I would have done different, or would have added, I would have tried to add a little more sky just so that you wouldn't cut off the top of the plant, but it's not a big deal. Well handled. Who is this maker?
This is Peter Florsack for first place. It had a score of 23.
Yeah, that's the original sky. Yeah,
Breaking up
because it's
there,
nature.
yeah.
You can't add a.
Oh,
in
that's
the
right.
sky.
That's right. My bad.
And I wish I had stepped back a little more so that I could have got the rest of the plant.
I love the tones. You know, beautiful.
Thank you. That's what it really looked. It was an overcast day.
Wow.
Yeah, fantastic.
Iguana.
There's just something, I've taken a number of pictures of iguanas, and they just photograph really, really well. I don't know what it is. I mean, just look at how sharp this guy is. You can see every little scale on him, every little detail in there. His eyes are tack sharp. I might have cropped in a little more, maybe even did a more of a vertical shot to kind of call attention to the most interesting part of the thing. But it's very well done. Who's the maker?
John Kane, second place with a score of 22.
Nice job.
Nice.
It is cropped in. This guy had to be 3 feet long. So I cropped it in to kind of show a good part of his body and the face. I thought about just doing the face alone with the vertical, but I wanted to show the size of this guy.
Jeez, it's gorgeous, just gorgeous.
John, you didn't get closer?
I was pretty close.
Oh, were you? I'm just kidding. I wouldn't get close to that thing. Sorry.
Yeah,
There's a place in Costa Rica where they raise these guys, and you go there and they give you plants, and there's like hundreds of them come around and you feed them with great big humans.
Nice.
So that would really freak you out.
If you get out of Key West, they walk the streets there.
Yeah, they do.
But this is at Grand Cayman.
One quick question. Do these things bite?
No,
I don't know.
not people.
Okay.
I'm not going to get close enough to find out.
All right.
I would have just encouraged him to turn his head and look at you a little bit if you could.
Yeah,
Smile.
believe it or not, this is a blue iguana, and I don't know why they call them blue iguanas, except for maybe the little tuft of skin under the mouth, which is blue. But these things get big.
And they're a little endangered because truthfully, they're pretty tasty.
Oh yeah.
It tastes like chicken.
Tastes like chicken, right?
Okay.
I couldn't resist.
Moving on.
Horseshoe Bend.
I mean, wow, what photographer doesn't want to go to Horseshoe Bend and take a picture? We talked about that yesterday. I would like to take exactly the same picture again. It's got all the detail in it. It's what can you say? It's a wonderful, wonderful image. Who's the maker?
Patrick Murphy, third place with a score of 21. There was an in and out, and it was the end.
And rightly so.
Wow. Nicely framed.
Is this the Colorado River? This
Yeah, this is, if my memory is correct, because this was several years ago, this is near Page, Arizona.
Right.
okay.
That's correct.
And
We
it's,
looked it up.
What's that?
I say we looked it up. You're correct.
Oh, yeah.
Because we all want to go there.
Yeah, it's near the dam,
Yeah.
It's near the what?
near the dam. They have a dam up there.
Yeah, right. Just, I think, north of Page, there's a dam.
Mhm, that's exactly right.
Yesterday's question was how difficult was it to get to this spot to take the shot?
It's
There's
not-
a pull-out on the highway leading into Page, and then you got to walk across maybe a quarter mile of really kind of sandy soil. And you get here, and I think I was laying down on my belly when I took this.
Actually, now you have to pay to go in.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. I was there last September. You have to pay to go in. And they've got a nice little trail, down, but it's about a quarter mile down.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, you can lay right on the edge there and take photographs.
Yeah, when I went there, you got out of your car in this little pullout, and then there was no sign to say, go this way or anything, but you could tell that over there was a drop off. So I just started walking, and I'm walking through the sand and thinking, where am I going? And then all of a sudden you come over a little rise and there it is. Really,
Yeah.
really amazing sight.
It's pretty impressive, isn't it?
And if the amazing thing about this picture, you can't see it, but if you could blow this picture up you could see a little tent down there right by the river where some guys were camping. I didn't see it when I took the picture, but when I was processing it and I blew it up, you can't see it in here, but if you blow it up, there's a little tent down there.
That's
And some
amazing.
guys had pulled a canoe out and they were camping down there.
That's pretty impressive.
But yeah, it's a beautiful spot.
Well, it's on my bucket list now.
I was actually there at the parking spot and I started walking, and my girlfriend at the time was throwing a major hissy fit. She didn't want to go and she didn't want me to go. So believe it or not, I got back in the dang car and we left.
Oh,
No photo. So I've got to go back.
Without her.
Yes.
Well, he did say at the time, so that
At the
implies
time,
that it's not the same one now.
No. Yeah, I have a hard time going on, photographing with somebody that doesn't enjoy the same thing,
yeah.
We've all been there, I'm sure.
I hear you.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Cook Sloth Kingfisher.
Jack.
All right, well, I love wildlife, and this is an very interesting bird. You can see that the branch is very, very sharp. Therefore, it looks to me like the eye and the feet portion of the bird is pretty darn sharp as well. Me being the picky guy I am, I always want something just slightly better. I don't want just a picture of the bird. I'd like to see that head and that body turned a little bit, but that's just me. You can't always make the bird do what you want. So you take the shot anyway. And so it's a pretty good shot. Who's the maker?
Trish Stone with a score of 19.
And what was the name of this bird?
That's a kingfisher.
What is?
Where did you find him, Trish?
That was at King's Slough when we went out. A handful of us met out there. In fact, I think you made us out there, Jack. You remember you had picked up your.
That's when I came
truck.
late. Yeah, because I couldn't find you. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, you got to see something good.
Well,
What
we
kind
didn't
of
see a whole lot.
lens did you use?
I'm guessing I have a 75 to 150, so 300 maybe. But
Okay.
it was way back I almost missed seeing it actually, but
Yeah.
it's one of the few shots I got of the day.
All right. At least you got something.
Is that here in Texas?
Yeah,
Down in the valley?
Down by Bandera.
yeah.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't realize those birds got this far north.
Well, there's water,
Huh.
We all met up. There was a whole lot of nothing to shoot, but I mean, it was fun getting out there finally, meeting up with the
Right.
guys.
Huh.
Flash of color.
I think it's my turn.
Yeah, Robert.
Definitely a splash of fall color. What do you call it? It looks like it's along a fence line because I think I see barbed wire or something like that. Or, what do you call it? Very busy photo, but I get what they were going for. Very nice. Maker.
Dick Boone with a score of 17.
All right, that has to be Los Maples, is it?
This is just down south of here, along the highway.
Oh, wow.
Is that a maple or is that a vine growing up that tree?
I think it was just a vine.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking of Virginia creeper, but it doesn't have 5 leaves, does it? Anyway,
Flower.
Well, isn't this one just so colorful? Only in nature, the contrast between this violet and red and yellow and bright green. And I mean, it's just so gauche. You certainly never consider painting your house this color, but it just really, really pops. There appears to be some kind of small insect or something crawling on the plant. It's sharp where it should be sharp, and the background just really adds to the wow factor of this photograph. Who's the maker?
Tim Kirkland. It was honorable mention. It had a score of 21, and it was the out.
I wonder what kind of flower that is. I've never seen one like that.
It looks like a thistle flower of some
It
sort.
does look like a thistle.
Yeah.
But I've
I'm
never
marking
seen.
thistle. I think the Russian stud thistles sometimes were purple.
Hmm.
Yeah, maybe Russian thistle.
Yeah.
Right, I'll have to look that one up.
Or some sort of insect on it as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Waiting in the snow.
Okay, this one's mine, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, didn't we all have a little bit of fun with the snow, which we never get to see? But wow, that female cardinal looks amazing in the snow. You can see the snow coming down a little bit too. That is nicely composed. I don't know if I were to say to enhance it just a little bit, I might crop off the top just a little bit and bring that bird in a little bit more. Otherwise, it's a great shot. Who's the maker?
Eric Bowden, score of 20.
Yeah, she was waiting to get her turn at the bird feeder because it was rather crowded with all that snow and not much food anywhere else.
Doe in Texas snow.
Oh, a doe in the snow. Huh?
All right. Yeah. I know another fun snow shot, huh? I think it's cute the way it's got a little snow on its nose, you know. It looks like it stands out. It's very sharp, and I like the fact that its body is a kind of askew, and the head's turned. You know, it's like, yeah, take a shot of me, and you got a little bit of catchlight in the eye as well. Who's the maker?
Jack Smith, a score of 20.
All right. Is that near home, Jack?
That's out in the greenbelt behind my house, and that doe cooperates for me quite a bit.
I hope you paid her.
Jack's starting to remind me of that old character from the TV series. What was it, Grizzly Adams?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
like
see
him.
the bear peeking out through the corner periodically.
I was wondering if anybody saw that little bear hiding in my bluebonnets there.
Yep.
He's actually up on the wall behind me here, and I don't know, for some reason he comes in and out whenever I move. I like the snow on the nose of the doe. That's the thing I love
Yep.
the best about it.
Yes.
That made that shot. Okay, let's flip to this. And travel. I think I'm saying this right. Wapalo. I'm sure I will be corrected if I'm wrong.
Wapalo.
Robert?
Nice pronunciation. All right, I'll take this one if nobody's coming up. All right, now it's a beautiful vista shot of the city. Looks like it's early morning or kind of like dusk, and it reminds me again of a film shot. Like I said, I like that you're in between valleys, like you kind of framed it with these hills and mountains, and I'm curious about that fireworks shot. It looks at it on, but I don't know. Colorful shot. Who's the maker?
Patrick Murphy, score of 19. There was a three-way, four-way, and it rescored at 17.
No, it's not added on. That was their That was completely spontaneous. This is at an overlook, and I just happened to be there at the right time, and fireworks were going off, and I hustled and got my camera out, and I was lucky enough to get this picture. This is in Quito, Ecuador, and the little town down there is just below Quito, and it's called Wapulo. And there was a wedding down there in that church that you see, and that's why they were shooting off the fireworks.
What
And
was your
also-
exposure time?
So it was just right time at the right place.
What was
Yeah,
your
very cool.
exposure time on this one? Was like a half second, or what was your exposure time?
Yeah, it was a pretty slow exposure because I wanted to get I wanted to get kind of like the streaky firework effect.
Yeah.
You can see on the right-hand side, the tree, there was kind of a
Yeah.
heavy wind, and the leaves on the tree are pretty blurred.
Looks like movement blur from the wind or something.
And a fun fact, where this lookout is, there's a statue of Francisco Orellana. And this is the place where Orellana marched with his men down this valley and discovered the Amazon 500 years ago.
Wow,
Cool.
Wow.
that's cool. Wow,
It's a historic place.
awesome. Great shot. I mean, I love that firework. I just didn't know, yeah.
It was just pure luck. The hardest thing about this was getting the telephone lines out that were right across the image.
Oh, you can't tell. You did well.
Well, thanks.
France or Vegas?
Well, it definitely looks like Vegas. I mean, you've got your valleys and you've got all that great signage. The strip is just so colorful, and this is a wonderful time of the day to photograph it at night. This just speaks Las Vegas. So it's a great image. Who's the maker?
Tammy Cothy Ramsey. It got honorable mention with a score of 19 and then a rescore of 21.
Nice.
Country Road.
Jack?
Okay, well, you got some nice dark clouds there. You got the curve in the road, and of course the added dusting of snow. And I'm gonna guess it's like West Texas or something, which makes it unusual because we don't all often see that. Although I remember when I was a young man, my parents took us out to Lajitas, and there was a big ice storm and everything on the way out there. So it can happen occasionally, and it does. For me, it's just a little bit too much road. I don't know. Of course, I'm the nature guy. I like to see the hills and the snow and the clouds, and the curve is nice, but that's just one little picky thing for me. Otherwise, it's a really nice image. I love it. Who's the maker?
Dick Boone with a score of 17.
Over near Santa Fe.
Yeah.
Awesome.
There's more snow up that way.
Oh, yeah.
Morning breaks in the Rockies.
All right, the time of day makes this a beautiful shot. You've got your golden colors, and it just reflects off of those yellow and brown grasses along with the green trees, and it just gives them an extra vibrant look. I really like the composition. I like the fence post coming at you. The sky, pretty dramatic with the clouds. I would have probably, to keep the clouds in the sky, I would have tried to crop just a little bit, but I realize why they're there. It just adds a dramatic effect. Maker.
Trish Stone, score of 19. Rescore of 19.
Pretty.
Nice, Trish. I like this one.
I like the way it moves you in. Take the fence line down in to the trees, follow the trees to the left, go on up onto the gold grass there, and then come back down between the trees. You got a nice pattern going.
I
Zigzag.
agree, Ernie.
Yep, very nice.
Jack,
Floating the Rio Grande.
Okay, well, we all probably recognize that Santa Elena Canyon, I'm guessing, and interesting that the photographer happened to catch this group coming through just at the right time, and the colorful canoes, the angles, all of that leads you in, but you've got nice foreground and background and a little bit of sky. It's really nicely done. Pretty sure I know who did this, but anyway, tell me what great photographer did this one.
Peter Forsack. It was second place with a score of 24, and there was a rescore of 23.
Now, this one was actually an HDR, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
You had to do it because the sun is so intense in the canyon. It would totally blow out the whole sky and the whole background. So I tried a really fast HDR and then stitched them together.
And you took this in June, I'm guessing.
I took it just last month.
Really?
Yeah.
The water is really high.
It's actually very, very low.
Really?
There were people right after this that just walked across. They all walked over, and Mexico is on the other side. And there were people just, it's only ankle deep.
Because I was in this same spot maybe 2 years ago, and there was a group of people, they had to literally drag their canoes up the river.
Yeah.
Wow.
They almost had to do that too here.
Yeah, you can see the guy to the right in his hat over on the bank on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
just outside the canyon, when we were there, it couldn't have been 3 inches deep.
Yeah.
And you could walk out in the middle, and we had a couple people standing out there taking pictures of Mexico and the US and all that, but this is the deepest part of the whole river through here. Once you get past here, it turns to rock, and then it gets deeper, not another 150 yards or so. It's,
Right.
Looks like you used a pretty wide angle lens too here.
I did. It was, let's see, 10, it'd be 15 millimeter.
Uh-huh.
I like that little distortion
Uh-huh.
that you get.
I want to go take that shot.
Let's go.
It's a fun place.
Okay,
Okay.
I cannot pronounce the name of this, but it's whatever that is and word is in the middle of the picture. And I'll
Hokitika.
let the maker pronounce it.
Well, this is just a classic travel shot. It's got all the elements. It just speaks to some foreign place, I'm guessing, just because of the signage and the name. The tower is right in the middle, but I'm guessing that's exactly what they were going for. I wish they had straightened it out. It's just leaning a little bit to the right. And that kind of bothers me, but I love the billowing clouds behind it. And it's just a great travel shot. Who's the maker?
John Kane. It got a score of 19 and rescored out of 20.
it is.
And
it
how
is
do you say that?
Hokitika or Hokitika? It's in New
Where is
Zealand.
it? In New
In New
Zealand.
Fred,
Zealand.
you can say that.
It's a clock tower that's in the middle of a roundabout in the town. We actually went there just to take this picture. And Peter, it is perfectly straight according to Lightroom.
Oh, is it just me? Does it look like it's leaning a little bit to the
No,
right?
I thought it leaned too. So that's why I went and checked it. And,
It's the line at the bottom of it that makes it look that way.
probably
Okay.
because there is a slight slope in the street.
I am.
And if you look at the line right below the bell, there's a rod that kind of like lightning rods or whatever that stick out on either side of this tower. That is perfectly straight across there. And I don't know if the tower leans or what it is, but it does not look straight to me either.
Yeah.
Because Lightroom doesn't always straighten your image.
No,
You know,
I ran this through 3 different programs to check it. And if you look at the light pole on the right-hand side by the sign, that light pole is perfectly straight.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what
And the
Lightroom
tower
tries to
is
do. It
crooked
tries to
as
make.
the tower is crooked as compared to that light pole.
Mhm.
So I just thought it was interesting. I like the clouds and the color of the tower. And I wish there'd been some people walking around, but because of COVID, this place was dead. There was hardly anybody around. I mean, they stopped all the cruise ships and all that kind of stuff, so there weren't very many tourists. But it's a cool little town.
Yeah, looks like it.
Panoramic of the window.
Who doesn't love a good panoramic shot? It's a beautiful vista, and I assume the window is over here on the left-hand corner. I like the way it's handled. The trail just looks a little bit blown out. But as far as vistas and panoramics go, it's spot on. Maker,
Eric Bowden, 3rd place.
Where
Score
at?
20.
where is
That's
this
it.
at?
That's in Big Bend, and the window is the little V, the gap,
Ah,
just kind of, in the left third there that's what they call the window when you go down to it.
cool. How long of a hike was this?
About 100 yards.
Oh,
Well, but not to the window.
Not to the window, but to this point.
oh,
You know,
okay.
you come out of the parking lots and from eating in the cafe upstairs, and you come down, and
Oh, man.
so
Yeah, but the window's not that far. It's only about 350 to 400 yards.
yeah, it's not that far. This was obviously, I used a wide angle and did the shot, so it's closer than it than it is, but it's not a terrible walk to get good pictures. You just have to watch out for the lions and tigers and bears. Oh my!
Yeah.
But it
Rock
drops
is
down
about,
pretty
is
far.
about
though,
3
right?
miles.
It drops down pretty far though, right? As you get closer to that notch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the best time,
Back out of that hole.
yeah, and we sat there for probably 2.5 hours waiting for the sun to go down in the notch. And we were very disappointed because there were no clouds, there were no nothing. There was just a big orange ball. But still, it's kind of cool to see shots of sunsets through that notch.
That's why you need Luminar.
Yeah. Use Luminar, change the picture. Yeah, I guess I could do that. I didn't think about that. I need to go back and look at that.
And
Not
that
in travel.
Thank God for Luminar.
and that tree that I entered last month, that's to your back in this picture. So you turn around and you get a picture of that big tall dead tree. So that's where all this is.
All right.
You got to go there, Robert.
Definitely. All right. I think it's my turn.
Crane takeoff.
This is an amazing shot. You got that negative space towards where these cranes are going. It's just, I've never shot anything like this. I'm not a wildlife photographer. It is outside my comfort zone, but just the fact that you've got them in mid-flight and plumage looks spectacular, and things are always in a set of 3, something about the grouping of 3. So you got your main focus of your cranes, a set of 3, and it's gorgeous. I mean, again, background, foreground, and midground. Beautiful shot. Who's the maker?
Jack Smith at place number 1 with a score of 24 and then rescored to 24.
Wow.
Nice job.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Great shot, Jack.
Where'd you get these sandhill cranes?
That's just outside of San Antonio. You don't recognize that place?
Kidding.
San Antonio, New Mexico, Bosque del Apache. I know Dick Boone knows that place. It's funny. I was just going through my pictures and, probably when I shot it, I didn't think too much of it. But as I was looking through my pictures, I thought, wow, this one's pretty darn good. I like this because you got variations of wingspan and takeoff and runway and all of that. I like it too. So thank you for scoring it first place. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
really well done. Great
Yeah.
shot.
Yes.
Very nice.
You can even see the tags on some of these cranes. It's beautiful on their legs, you know?
Sure.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
sharp.
you're right. hmm I
Sharp
will
speed.
tell you that my brother and I, one year, a number of years ago, we walked past a sign, and I forget exactly how it was worded, but in our mind, it meant you couldn't drive back there. We thought it was acceptable to walk back in there, but a ranger immediately came back in there and started yelling at us and almost cursing us out for being back in there. Like, you're not supposed to come back in here and get that close to the wildlife. But I don't think that's where I got this shot. This is alongside the highway. And lots of times you can get a great sunset too. You never know if it's going to happen or not. You might as well just show up and hope for the best. I don't know the shutter speeds, Steve. I'd have to go back and look at it, by the way.
Okay. What time of year was that?
Oh, goodness. It was cold.
Was it hot?
It was, I don't know, but it was really, really quite cold.
Oh, okay.
I mean, fingertips cold
Gotcha.
kind of thing when you take your hands out of your gloves.
Okay, and what was the assignment?
Reflections.
Got it.
Reflections during Lent.
Well, this one not only fulfills the assignment, it's got a great reflection, shot on it, whatever it is, a piece of black plastic or whatever it is. It just really makes the whole cross pop. The color up against the black. It's got great detail in it. It's a wonderful image. Who's the maker?
Eric Bowden, 3rd place, score of 21 and rescored a 21.
Nice job, Eric.
Hey, Eric, that would make one of those great jewelry kind of shots, jewelry display. That looks good.
Yeah, really. Strawberry reflection.
Is this my turn?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's very unique, very well composed. My only thing is I'm a little confused about maybe now that I'm thinking about it, you've got such a dark base there that it causes the strawberry to look, a lot different from the original strawberry. And it also looks a little, I don't know, extra glossy or something. I don't know if there's some special effect to make it look like that, but otherwise it's well composed and really interesting with the forks, the way everything is arranged. And I'm guessing I know who did that, but let me know anyway.
John Kane scored 20 and rescored 21.
The strawberry is glossy because it's plastic.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I thought, is that a real strawberry? There's something weird about it, like it's waxed or something.
Well, it's basically this thing was lit with a green filter.
Hmm.
Okay, and when I put the strawberry down on it to take the picture of the strawberry, it was also green. So I had to layer it to get the red back in there, but I never could get the red in the reflection because of I guess the grain. But I found out when doing this, and it's kind of cool, is you need to worry about the thickness of the glass that you use or whatever you're using to create the reflection.
Mhm.
This is actually a very thick piece of non-glare picture frame glass. And it's probably 3/16 of an inch thick. And you can look at the forks on the top and you can see that they're solid, but on the bottom in the reflection, it looks like two forks.
Yeah, double
And that
image.
is the thickness of the glass causing that. And I included this just because I didn't get a chance to do anything other reflections, and I did this back when we did last month's assignment. So this is leftover, and yeah, I understand, but it's it's just kind of weird. I don't know why I did it.
Well, it just threw me because in my mind, I was thinking that's a real strawberry, but it doesn't look real to me. So, okay, thanks for explaining that.
Well, it's if I had a real strawberry, I would have put it there, but my granddaughter has one in her make-believe kitchen. And so I just grabbed it.
Yeah, got it.
And so those forks are they white or silver, or what are they normally?
They're silver.
Uh-huh.
And the whole idea was I lined them up with reflection to make it look like a leaf.
Ah,
And that's why I made it green, was to look like a leaf, and then with the leaf of a strawberry plant.
uh-huh.
But it didn't work out the way I wanted to. But it was just an experiment.
I think it's cool. I
Yeah,
like
the
it.
green and the red complementary, I guess, colors. Looks
Interesting effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very difficult to light. So
very nice.
Truck reflection.
Wow. You know, what can you say? You've got a reflection of a truck. Hopefully you weren't there too long waiting for that one truck to get by there, to get that proper reflection. It's nicely done. It's well composed. I mean, you don't have too much sky on top. I like that. Some people just put it at the halfway point, Beautiful colors. Maker.
Peter Florzak, second place. Scored a 21, then rescored a 23.
Nicely done.
It's
Against
Amistad
Derek.
Lake.
I don't think it would have been the same without the truck, although it's wonderful. Without the truck, I think the truck enhances to the picture.
Yeah, I have both. That's Highway 90. So there's lots of trucks.
Right.
So you didn't have to wait too long.
No.
Where's that at, Peter?
Lake Amistad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I usually camp there before I go on to Big Bend.
I can picture your dog right down there with your wife, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that
Yeah.
pretty close to where you did your blog?
exactly. Exactly. Same-
the
same
lake is
place.
really low.
It's very low.
I thought they get so much rain. They get a lot of rain over around Del Rio, and I just thought that would be enough.
Yeah, apparently not enough.
Fulton Harbor.
Well, we've got our reflection, the mass, always work wonderful. In making reflection in the water. This one's kind of divided in half with the horizon right in the middle. A lot of times people say they don't like that, but in this case, considering its reflections, it's like a perfect mirror image of it. The bird adds a little bit of contrast, interest to the image. And then of course you've got that wonderful sun coming up over the bow of one of the boats. Great image. Who's the maker?
Trish Stone scored 20, rescored 20.
I love the starburst, Trish, and you got the bird there too. Good for you.
Cypress Reflections.
It's you, Jack.
Oh, that's me. I thought it was Robert. I'm sorry. Okay. Well, cypress roots are always amazing to photograph. Personally, I'm not like thrilled with this one. I guess because the roots and everything to me should be the main focus. Plus the idea of the fact that the water is not perfectly still to make a really wonderful, spectacular reflection. It does close to the roots, do a great job, but all this down at the bottom is distracting for me. It's like I might have moved my camera up a little bit and got a little bit less of the water. If the water would have been still, then I get it. All that being a little sharper probably wouldn't be quite so distracting to me. Otherwise, it's interesting subject matter. I like it a lot. Tell me who the maker is.
Patrick Murphy, 17.
You know, the
Where'd you
water
take it,
looks really
Patrick?
smooth to me. It just looks out of focus.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
sure
that-
that's part of what it was. The focus was on the roots.
Yeah.
But it's
Maybe
it's Guadalupe, so the water was moving. So
Yeah. Okay.
But still, a fast shutter speed and f/16 maybe would have brought it all into focus.
yeah. Thanks.
All right. Reflection.
All right. As far as the composition, he's almost at that point that it's diagonal. And I really dig that you've got either, I don't know what they are, fart bubbles or whatever you want to call them, from behind the bird, just leading you almost at a diagonal. And of course, we have the small ripples and of course the reflection. So it is right on as far as assignment, it's right on. And I dig it. Who's the maker?
Dick Boone, first place with a score of 22.
Way to go,
Nicely
Dick.
done, Dick.
What
Very
kind of
nice.
bird is this, Dick?
I have to interject something. I wasn't paying close attention to the date on this, and this was actually taken before the announcement of the assignment.
Oh, just give
So
it to
it needs
Dick.
to be disqualified.
Oh, give it to Dick.
Yeah.
who
Forgive
cares?
you. You're
Who
forgiven.
cares? It's a good picture. It's a black stilt, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Mhm. It's a great image
Take it
and it
down at
deserves
Metro
first
Lake.
place.
Yeah, nice job, Dick.
It
Yeah, I
stayed,
like your composition with the bubbles back there. It really works.
yeah, that's just cool. Very nicely done.
We have a quorum. It's
Thank you all.
correct place, so it's great.
Yeah.
Imperfection.
It's my turn, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The creativity of this one just really got me, you know. It's a little weird that the apple is a kind of turning where it was bit off. But that's my only negative comment. I think the creativity in this thing is just amazing. You know, we were all going for like a reflection in the water, and here's one in the mirror, and you got this perfect apple facing you, and then the back of the bitten apple looking the opposite way. The table has all that checkerboard kind of pattern, and it's even a little crooked on the bottom. Normally I like to have the things be level, but in this case I think it just kind of really adds to the whole interest of the photograph. Who's the maker?
Tammy Cothy Ramsey. His honorable mention. Original score was a 20 with a rescore of 22.
Very nice.
Tell the story.
So it has a double meaning. In case you can't
you're
figure that
here.
out. Yeah, I finally got here.
Yay.
Hey,
So it's
Did you use your Apple computer on this one?
no.
So that's
But I
not the
did
double
take I
meaning.
did take a bite out of the apple.
Several.
It's very,
Macintosh.
Well, it's a mental health kind of thing. It's like when you look in the mirror, this is what you see, and other people see the whole you, but you don't necessarily see the whole you.
And damage to.
nice.
we're getting deep.
Well-
Trying to use psychology
Hey.
on it. Trying to use
Put this
psychology on
in
it
a-
does not get you a good score.
Yeah, well, it does with me. I scored it high, but
There you go,
no
Tammy.
one else.
You need to put that in a psychology textbook. As an
I like it.
illustration.
I don't care.
It's nice. I like it.
It's a very cool image.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. I think this is artistic moon bells,
It's maroon.
maroon bells with full moon.
We corrected that last.
Okay. Well, I missed
Robert,
that part.
Robert, you need to speak to that one.
Absolutely. Okay. Artistic, definitely. This is almost like monochromatic and green. It's appealing to the eye. And then when you throw that moon up there, it's like, whoa, okay, that's something different. But reflection, it definitely serves the purpose of the assignment. Well done as far as the photo. And with the addition of the moon, it's like, all right, game on. Maker?
Jack Smith, score of 18.
Have we seen this image without the moon, Jack?
Yes. Yes.
It's really nice. I remember it. Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
it
My
looks
wife,
very
my
familiar.
wife hates what I did to this, but and it doesn't qualify anyway. Like Dick said, it wasn't taken recently, but it's just something I had to throw in there.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that. Ah,
That's
That's it.
That's all, folks.
that's all, folks. Yay.
Hey, congratulations to the winners.
Yes, and thank you for everybody for sharing your images. I'm sorry I couldn't share this time around.
And
Yeah.
to the losers.
Yeah, me neither. And thanks to the judges.
Yeah.
For doing their jobs. Appreciate that.
Now, Steve,
What?
when did you send your images? Because I have never gotten them.
I know it was Sunday evening, and I pressed the button to send them. And while I was waiting, for the thing to tell me they were sent, I started editing some photographs, which apparently interfered with the process. So when I
Oh,
came
dang.
back to it, everything was gone, and I thought, oh, okay, it must have gone through. I should not have assumed that. I
I'm
should have.
sorry, and I messed up and did not process or get ready for this until Wednesday morning.
Well,
And I didn't even see your email.
well, Sunday evening was when they were supposed to be due. I should have sent them
Yeah.
in a few days ahead of time, probably like most people do, and then I wouldn't have been up against that, that.
Oh,
cost.
you'd be surprised what stuff comes dragging in.
So Javi, it's interesting that we have so many categories, 5 as opposed to just one, which is what a lot of the other clubs have. And that's what I really like about our club is that it's really oriented toward having a presentation of at least 5 images every month.
Yeah, no, it seems to be the most like photo-centric club that I've seen so far. Which is obviously great. I'm very happy to see that. So
and
Yeah,
prints
thank you.
are even nicer. Everybody does their prints and they
yeah,
mount
no,
them.
I'm excited to see some of that because then you have like another dimension. It's like paper. All right, what do we want to do paper-wise?
Yeah.
So
I'm
yeah, no,
glad
I'm
you stayed
excited to see that.
Yeah, I'm glad you stayed to watch this process, Javi.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I said, it's I love hearing I love seeing different people's work, and I love hearing critiques. You know what I mean? Because it just I don't think, at least, again, going back to the younger generation, older generation, kind of talk, I don't think the younger photographers really get critiqued enough. I think, I think especially as social media has kind of come up, you see less and less of it. You just see like, great, great, great. You only see the positive side. And so I like hearing, everyone's perspective on certain things. So it's awesome to hear.
Yeah, we struggle with that part. You don't want to be too critical of somebody and scare them away. We've lost some members by, they don't appreciate the critiques. So, I think we settled on, we try to be a little bit positive, but still throw in something creative, something that people could change. And that's kind of how we settled on doing it. So anyway.
Hey, and we have a very diverse level of expertise. We're spread out. There's a lot of other clubs who just concentrate on one thing, and we spread out, and we have different people who do different things between nature and especially when we get into the creative side, because our creative stuff, which we do 6 months out of the year, and then we do assignment 6 months out of the year. Yeah. So, and we start getting into the creative stuff, like some of the stuff that Peter and I come up with. One I had last year with nothing but zombies, which was kind of cool. But it gets really interesting. And because we can do prints, and not all of us do prints, so maybe we can start doing, we need to discuss some changes to our print philosophy, I think. And I'll bring that up at a later date, but that's something else.
Yeah, no, like I said, the creativity, I think particularly too kind of stuck with me though. I think John, one of yours with the strawberry, and then I think it was Trish with the apple. Trish, that apple shot was
That was Tammy.
Tammy, I'm sorry. Yeah, just the overall
Concept.
the kind of psychology that went into that, and I kind of tend to do a little bit of that around the house, where I kind of will gather things up and kind of say, okay, well, how can I orient these to make something interesting? So, yeah, I love seeing the variety. I think having multiple categories is a great decision.
See, and the bonus of if we move the print competitions over there to Digital Pro Labs, if I haven't had time to print my image, I could send it to you guys and have it printed so it's there already when I'm ready for.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Bonus.
There we go.
All right.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
like that idea.
You're welcome for the plug there, Javi.
I appreciate it.
Eric, does that mean you're going to pay for them to mat it as well?
Yes, I will pay the full 37 cents for the matting.
Okay.
That's what painter's tape and showing up at the last minute will, that's how the matting will happen.
There we go.
Well, I mean, you could bring your own mat, if you had them printed 8x10 or 11x14, you could bring them. You could do it right there. It just takes a minute to stick it behind the mat.
Exactly. I've done it before.
Oh. All right. Well, I look forward to when we can start getting out there and having our meetings. I miss seeing people, in general, as far as in person and the actual physical print, very tangible,
I was thinking maybe May.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's supposed to be vaccinated by then. We could still do, mask and social distancing if we had to. And it would be great.
Well, I mean, according to the mayor, or according to somebody that said that, I read in my essay that you can still meet if all the people have been vaccinated. You can still meet in a small group. I don't know what a small group is, without mask or social distancing. That's if everybody has been vaccinated.
Yeah, the CDC said something about 3 feet instead of 6 feet.
Yeah,
that's for kids.
I think that's for school. Yeah.
For school,
primarily.
yeah. But by May, they say everybody who wants a vaccine should be able to have a vaccine. And
Well, at least it should be available
uh-huh,
at that point.
yeah. So,
We'll see.
yeah. Anyway, it would be great to think about May, and maybe a couple of us can come down to your lab and check it out. I know I'd like to go. Probably John would like to go. Maybe anybody else.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm sure Amanda would love to meet you guys too. She's she's one of our owners, and she's kind of the I'm kind of her right hand man. So
nice.
I'm her proxy in some sense.
I've already met Amanda, and I'm not on her good side. So.
Oh, maybe we don't want to bring John.
We have.
Yeah.
I have those small controversies with Digital Pro Labs, and that's why I stopped going there. But I did come back when I did win some images from the Jim Landers contests that he had every year. I had to have 3 things printed, so I did go back over there. But
I see. Well, I don't know if anyone's a portrait photographer in the group, but we do a little every Monday. We do a little Zoom with Jim. He's got a little segment he does with us called Portrait Profits, where he kind of goes into the business side of portraiture and stuff like that. And so he does that every Monday with us at noon. So yeah, we know Jim too.
Yeah, I watched that, but it's posted also on YouTube.
Yeah,
that's what I was about to ask where it was.
Yeah, we posted on YouTube. I think Jim is the one that does the posting. I can't remember the exact channel on that one.
Well, I talked to Jim about that because I found it very boring.
Well, I tell you,
no. The reason being is because Jim here lately has started focusing on the business side versus the actual photography side. I mean, when Photo SA started, because I'm one of the founding members of Photo SA, and we started out as a learning experience for people to go out and learn different techniques and that's why he has a school to teach people this. And then he started getting into more of the business side, the portrait side, the wedding side, and I stopped going because that's not my interest anymore. Okay, and it's I mean, I like Jim's stuff. He's a very knowledgeable man. But I think as far as portraiture goes, we have already had a discussion among ourselves of doing a portrait meetup, so some of us could learn the lighting techniques. Robert does it, Eric does it. A lot of them don't have the equipment. We could learn some lighting techniques. Maybe that's something we might be able to set up through you and using your area or something like that one night. I don't know.
Yeah, no, we can definitely talk about it. Yeah, I know. Like I said, we're real big on, on the knowledge side as well, which is why we have this stuff with Jim. And I definitely understand what you're saying. Where Jim's doing a lot of business oriented stuff. As it pertains to my job, like I said, I work with a lot of people in getting them, set up on that end of the photography. So I like hearing a lot of it because he has a few little sound bites here and there that I'm like, ooh, I'm going to use that. I'm going to keep a hold of that. So I think for the people, there's not, again, I go back to, you can learn so much on YouTube these days as far as how to take a good photo. There's a lot less content out there, I think, you can still find it, but there's a lot less content out there, I find, for learning the business side of it. And so I think there's definitely a little gap in the market for that. And so I think he does a pretty good job of filling that too. But like I said, I definitely think we might be able to work something with y'all.
Yeah, I agree with you, Javi. I mean, that's every one of us over here at one time has thought about making money from our photography. And the one thing that holds really every one of us back is the business side. You can be the greatest photographer in the world, but unless you understand marketing and and acquisition and all those things that Jim teaches, which are boring and the hobbyists don't want to do, you're not going to have a business. You might get lucky and somebody will find you.
Yeah, it's certainly not the sexiest part of the business of the, of photography. That's for sure. I agree with you right there. I'm actually very fortunate. I love this position because it allows me to professionally, be in the world of photography without having my value, my worth tied to my work. You know what I mean? So it's,
Right.
I'm still in the photography world, but I still get to keep that, that little piece of photography, special and important to me. And it's not a job, picking the camera for me isn't a job because it's not directly what I'm doing, but I still get to work with people like y'all, and get to be immersed in the world. So it's really a great balance for me personally.
Yeah, although I'll tell you, there's nothing like selling your work. Nothing like somebody coming up and plunking down $100 or $200 or $300 or whatever for something that you made.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Right. I mean, that's a real rush.
Yeah, no, exactly. I sell prints too. That's about as close as I've gotten to to monetizing my photography. Is I'll sell a print because, I'm taking the photos regardless. At that point, you might as well sell them. It's just kind of a neat little nod that somebody else out there thinks that the way that you see the world is cool. So I definitely can get on board with that.
Who knows? Maybe you might want to enter our competition sometime.
Yeah, I gotta say, I have a few shots that I feel like could hang. So maybe
All right.
maybe one of these days I'll have to.
Game
Good.
on.
That would be great.
Absolutely.
You'll just have to be signed up.
Yeah, no, I'll have to get signed up and everything. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we'll send you an entry form.
There we go. Yeah, I'll have the lab put the bill. Yeah, there we go. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool.
It's a whole $35 a year, so I mean, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, guys, hey, thank y'all so much for having me. I think I'm gonna have to get going here in a second, but again, Peter, John, everybody, thank y'all so much for having me, and of course, I look forward to meeting you all in person soon. Maybe in May, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
So, Peter, I'll email you, and we'll set up some time for y'all to come by. And
That would be great. Thanks for
All right,
doing
Hodge.
this.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Hodge.
Guys.
Thank you again.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out too. Thanks, guys.
Okay, bye,
All right.
Patrick.
Well,
Bye,
good evening.
Patrick.
Hey, talk to you later, Patrick.
Bye-bye.
All right.
John, you can stop recording, I guess.
Oh, should I stop recording now? Is somebody gonna talk